When hanging out with a crowd watching football, do you wish you knew what was going on? Do you hear cheering around you and wonder why? Well, football season is here, and I'm here to help. I'm Allison Zigich, and I put together the short presentation called Football for Beginners. Now, I'm not an expert, and I don't claim to be an expert. I'm a fan. As you can see from my license plate, my team is the Oakland Raiders. Now, Steve, our cameraman, his team is the Denver Broncos, and our teams do not get along. But we are football fans, and we do share a passion for the sport. This presentation is not complicated, and it's not meant to enhance anyone's prior knowledge of the game. It's for beginners. It's meant to get you in here and cheering for your team. But hold off on the trash talking. First, you need to know the basics. So let's get started. While it may seem that football lasts all day Sunday, it's really not that long. The actual regulation game lasts only an hour. It is broken into 4 15-minute quarters, which equates to 2 halves. The halves, first and second quarter, and third and fourth quarter, are separated by halftime, which lasts roughly 12 minutes. There are 53 players on a team, but only 45 of those will make the active game day roster, which means that each week teams will have players go inactive. The game day roster will then include offensive players, defensive players, special teams, etc. But as a beginner, what you need to know is who's on the field. There are 11 players on the field per team during the game. And as you can see, there are quite a few positions. But as a novice, all you need to know is that there's an offense, the ones with the ball, and a defense, the ones without the ball. The one who first gets the ball on the offense is the quarterback, and he will either throw it, hand it off to another player, or run it himself. The one who catches the ball, the receiver, and the one who kicks the ball is the kicker. For you to understand how to score, you have to understand the field and understand all the markings on the field. The length of a football field is 100 yards, and it's broken down into 2 sections of 50 yards at the midfield line. The field is further broken down into 10-yard increments, which is then further broken down like a ruler between each 10 yards. The hash marks represent single yards, and the line in the middle represents 5 yards, the halfway point between that 10-yard span. Each team has its own end zone, and a goalpost is erected smack dab in the middle. The line that separates the field and the end zone is called the goal line, and there are pylons set on either side of the goal line, represented here in yellow. There are a few ways in which to score points, but the first 3 are the most common. A touchdown is worth 6 points, and it's where the ball is advanced into the opponent's end zone. It can either be caught or carried into the end zone, but the actual football, even the slightest part of the football, needs to break the plane of the goal line before a touchdown will be awarded. In other words, you can run across the goal line, jump across, or reach out. Whatever you have to do to get that football over that line, or to get it to break the plane, you have to do so before a touchdown will be awarded. This is why you will see players leap and stretch their arms like Gumby to get it across, but unless they do, the touchdown is not awarded. The point after touchdown is worth 1 point. It's where the ball is kicked through the goalposts or the uprights after a touchdown is scored. A field goal is worth 3 points. It typically occurs on 4th down when the team is close enough to kick the ball through the uprights. A 2-point conversion is a way to score 2 points after a touchdown. Remember, they can kick it through the goalpost for 1 point after the touchdown, or they can go for 2. You'll see the same formation as if they will attempt another touchdown, but this time, once they get into the end zone, the play is worth 2 points. A safety is also worth 2 points. It's when an offensive player, the one with the ball, is tackled by a defensive player behind his own goal line. So let's say the quarterback has the ball and is sacked in the end zone, then 2 points are awarded to the defense. Now that you know the players, have had a look at the field, and know what they have to do to score, let's get you engaged. If you can understand this next part, I promise it will change the way that you view football. So, how good are you in math? Basic addition, subtraction? Because that's all you're going to need to figure out what comes next. Please follow along carefully. The offense, the ones with the ball, get 4 downs in which to advance 10 yards. These downs can be referred to as tries, 4 tries to go 10 yards. The first play always starts as 1st and 10. This means it is 1st down and 10 yards to go. If they advance the ball 3 yards, the next play becomes 2nd and 7. 2nd down, the second try, and 7 yards to go to get to that initial 10 yards. If they now advance 4 yards, they're still not there, so you subtract the advanced 4 yards from the 7, which is left to go in this instance, which makes it now 3rd and 3. 3rd down and 3 yards to go. The ball is now advanced 12 yards. They only needed 3 yards to get to that initial 10, and they got it. So now they start yet again at 1st and 10. It doesn't even matter if they advanced 50 yards. Once they surpass that initial 10 yards, the new play always begins at 1st and 10. Do you follow what I just said? If not, please take a moment to review what I just said. It's important that you know this part of football to get it. Okay, so we're back at 1st and 10, and they now advance 6 yards. This means the next play is going to be 6 yards minus 10, so it'll be 2nd and 4. 2nd down and 4 yards to go. Starting to get it? Let's say on the next play they advance 16 yards. Remember, they only needed 4 yards to get to that 1st down. So what is it now? It's back yet again to 1st and 10. And if there are less than 10 yards before the goal line, then the play becomes 1st and goal instead of 10. It's either 1st and 10 or 1st and goal. Those are the only 2 firsts that you'll have. Now that you got all that down, let's talk about not being so awesome and not getting that 1st down. If you can't get the 1st down in 3 downs, you come up on the 4th, the last try. Depending on where the ball is spotted on the field will determine what the team does next. If they are close enough to kick it through the uprights, they may want to attempt a field goal. Heck, it's worth 3 points. But if they are close to a 1st down by a half yard or 1 or 2 yards, they might take a risk and try to run that short distance to pick up a 1st down. But if they are unsuccessful in picking it up in the extra yards, then the ball is turned over to the other team right where they left it. Could be good field position for the other team. It's a risk. Or the third option would be to kick it as far downfield to the other team and make them run the entire field back towards their goal. But just know that when the other team starts out with the ball, they start at 1st and 10. Do you see a pattern here? It all comes back to 1st and 10. Common penalties you will hear are face mask, holding, pass interference, false start, just to name a few. There are enough penalties assessed in any one game that I don't need to break them down for you now. All you need to know as a beginner is you're going to hear a whistle, the play is going to stop, and it will resume again shortly. And either one of the 2 teams will most likely have moved up or downfield. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of Football for Beginners. As I said from the start, I'm not an expert, but I do love this game. There's so much more to learn about football, but I hope I've given you a few of the basics that at least get you in here and start cheering for your team. Until next time, I'm Allison Zigich. Thank you for watching.